Hi, I'm David Petersen here with another Mouse Guard architectural model. In this case, it's the Haven Guildroom from Black Axe issue 6, or chapter 6 if you have the hardcover. This is a room that I had drawn before I actually built the model, or drawn a piece of it. I drew it for the cover of issue 6, and then when I got into the meat of the issue, realized that I had a large talking sequence that was going to be taking place between two characters in this room. And to make sure that that kind of a sequence doesn't get boring and that I can keep moving the camera and moving the characters around in the space, I find that having a model is very helpful. This was a room that's a secret order, a secret society based on architectural principles of 4 founders. I kind of came up with the inspiration from the 4 Hogwarts founders. But each one of these would represent some kind of different building discipline within medieval architecture. Stonemasonry, woodwork, metalwork, and then planning, draftsmanship, mathematics, that kind of thing all rolled up into one. To make the room, I decided to make it modular. And it's made out of all of my typical building supplies: cardboard, chipboard, a little bit of basswood, hot melt glue, super glue, those kind of things. Now, the first thing I had to do when making this model was to replicate the drawing that I had already done. And I had drawn this very complex conical column that flared out at the top. So I set about making that piece first. This model is modular, so I can take it apart in pieces to help show parts of it to you. These columns, if you just look at one side, you can kind of figure it out. I made several of these and just kept gluing them at regular intervals along measured out lines on the column. And then once I had that kind of skeletal frame, I could glue on these pre-printed designs that had this elaborate pattern on it. And I made 3 of those and put them together onto a piece of cardboard. Once I had the cardboard, and specifically this opening shape, which would be what a wall would be made of, I started making the walls. And one of the walls I had already drawn in the book was this series of pair of doors and then cabinets. And in fact, I was able to take the drawing from the cover and flatten it back out, kind of re-angle it, do some fill-in drawings, and print it out so that it was at the right scale, glue it to a sheet of cardboard, and I made kind of a key system out of a piece of basswood and some cardboard so that it matches up to a spot on the roof or ceiling, top of the ceiling of the room. This also means that I could have, if I wanted to, had made replacement walls so that I could keep making a labyrinth of this, and the room, the wall could go on either side, key framing into or key lining in because of my little registration tabs. The other wall is a carved wooden homage to the 4 founders. This is a pencil sketch that I did in preparation for the cover, which I was able to resize appropriately for the scale of the model, and then glue onto a sheet of cardboard with the same kind of registration tab and cardboard mark. The floor is actually a stained glass window design that I liked, printed out, and glued onto just another sheet of, it's actually double corrugated cardboard. Now, to help with all the registration, I have little pieces of basswood glued in on the corners so that when it's time to put the main body back on, they actually nestle into those pieces. And then the walls hang back on and nestle in where they're supposed to nestle in. Having this model did really help keep all the details straight as well. There were a lot of details for this model when it came to where the edge of a column would be, that detailed pattern on the column, how much of the carving would we see, where would we be seeing the door of the cabinet or the door that leads into the next room. If I did a top-down shot, keeping the pattern on the floor straight and in reference angle-wise to everything else in the room. This is a model that I would like to go back to at some point. I don't have any plans for revisiting the Haven room, but I am fascinated by the idea of the four founders and think that there are some mouse guard stories to be told there at some point. And I don't know what lies beyond those doors. I do have clues for what is in the cabinets. And we actually see some glimpses that the Farrer family tree, family lineage is stored there. And there are some more secrets of Farrers, I believe, hidden in those cabinets. Some specific things regarding his techniques. So I don't know when I'll get to those stories, but building the model helped me draw the scene and be able to reference the scene if I ever need to go back there, and maybe creatively inspire some more stories. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.